This is an interview at the Microtel in Wellsville, New York, 6th of May 2003, 11 a.m. The interviewers are Mike Russert and Wayne Clark. Could you give me your full name, date of birth, and place of birth, please?
Orval, Arthur, Rossman.
Date of birth and place of birth.
2/10/20. And
Place of birth, please.
it's, I'm trying to think, it's town of Ward. It's in Scio. So
Oh,
it
okay.
would be Scio.
Okay,
It's close to it.
that's how you pronounce that. We went through there, I didn't know how to pronounce that.
Scio.
Okay, what was your educational background prior to going into service?
I quit my senior year. My dad took me out of school, really.
Mhm.
And I went to work at Sinclair Refinery.
Okay. Do you remember where you were and what your emotions were when you heard about Pearl Harbor?
I remember we had company at the house, and we were having a cookout in the yard when I heard it.
Do you remember how you reacted to it? Or
No, because I had been already inducted before. I hadn't gone in yet. I was going to go in the 5th of January, so I just was a little bit upset then that we were attacked, but I'd already been inducted. So.
Okay. Where did you go for your basic or your induction?
Yeah, I got all my papers there at
Oh.
Fort Niagara.
Oh, okay. You went to Fort Niagara.
Yeah, my memory isn't very good.
Well, that's
on that.
okay.
Terrible.
Did you have any basic training up there, or did you just was that just your induction
No, just
center?
induction station.
And where did you go from there?
Then I went to Fort Belvoir, Virginia.
Okay, same place the gentleman before you.
I didn't know him.
Yeah. All right. And could you tell us about your training and any specialties or anything?
I don't really, can't think of anything that'd be unusual, just
Do you remember how long your basic training was? Was it like 12 weeks or?
I think it was, I guess it was 12 weeks. I can't say for sure, but I think it was.
Do you remember what type of rifle they used then on the?
I was thinking we had it was a bolt action that I had first, but I can't remember what
Yeah, it must have been an old .3 Springfield.
what they call them.
Now, how did you get into the engineers? Did they assign you?
That's the way they assigned me, because I guess my being a farmer, I'd run tractors and stuff, and you know.
Okay, so you were in the armored engineers. Did you
Yeah.
have any special training with heavy equipment or anything in service?
Well, I was on a self-unloading bridge truck, is what we were on, but. I was-
So how did you? How long did it take you to learn how to use that?
Well, I was quick to learn. I remember helping the driver out. I was assistant driver, but I remember helping him out of the woods a few times, getting him straight how to do it. But because I'd always brought all kinds of equipment to home. I remember loading the bulldozer on the train when nobody could before, but it's just natural driving then.
You said here you had an unusual duty was to build a bridge across the Mississippi River. Could you tell us about that?
Well, that's where we crossed it in blackout driving at night. I remember I had a flashlight blackout on one of the pontoons, and we lost two tanks in there. That's us, 2 tanks in the night. I don't remember it, but I think we lost 3 men in it. But the tanks filled with sand as soon as they hit the bottom. It was so deep there. I know they had big equipment come in to get them out. But
Now you helped build that bridge. Was
Yeah.
it a pontoon bridge?
yeah.
Okay.
And we built a Bailey Bridge when we went to Fort Niagara too, and it was gone in the morning. It collapsed during the night.
How long
An
did it?
experimental bridge.
How long did it take to build these bridges?
Well, it's hard to remember back then, but they went up pretty fast. 'Cause pontoons just hooked together, and we float the pontoons out, and put the steel treadway on it, and shove it out farther. So
I see.
shove it.
Now
from the bank
with the
out.
Bailey Bridge at Fort Niagara, where did you build that?
And Black Lake.
And the next day it was gone?
Well, it wasn't gone, but it was in the water.
In the water.
It didn't hold up, so they didn't use it.
So that was an experimental bridge,
Yeah,
you said?
experimental.
Okay. Did you have any service outside of the United States? Or?
No, I didn't.
All your
I was
duty was
already,
here.
I had my shots ready to go overseas when they sent me home for help my dad on the farm. That's why I went in, to get away from it, but it didn't work that way.
So you were in service 2 years, or
Almost 2
almost
years.
2 years, and you were sent home to work on
to
the
help
farm?
on the farm, yeah, because he had quite a dairy when I went in. But the thing was, I was working at a Sinclair refinery then, and that's why they drafted me.
So was there a shortage of...
Well, they wanted all the farmers to produce all they could back then.
Now, did you have any brothers, or were
No,
you...
I had
oh,
2
you were-
sisters is all.
Okay, so that's why you were... So you basically worked on the farm the rest
Yeah,
of...
yeah,
during the
that's
rest of
right.
the war?
Until the war was over, yeah.
What was it like then, as a civilian working on the farm? Was there rationing, or
Yeah, well, gas rationing and everything.
and the milk and everything had to be sold to the government?
Well, no, we just sold it the same as ever, but
Uh-huh.
there were certain things that were rationed. I remember we had trouble getting gas for the farm equipment.
I was just going to ask you, did you get any extra gasoline for the
Yeah,
farm?
we did get extra for the
Equipment?
gas for the farm. Yeah, anything that was going to produce meat or milk.
How large was your dairy herd?
He had about 34 head when I got out. Yeah,
Did you ever increase the size, or...
I think he might have a little, but not too much, because we had just so much land that
Yeah.
that's about what they would handle. But they
Now,
were,
did he have any workers working on the farm with you, or was there just a
No,
shortage
just-
of farm laborers
he had
too?
a hired man, but he got me out to help and got rid of the hired man.
Now, did your sisters work on the farm at all?
Well, they all helped with the milk.
Were they younger or older?
No, I had 2 older and 1 younger.
So they helped a lot on the farm too.
Yeah, well, they did what they could, mostly in the milk department and stuff.
Now, how about, did you grow most of your own food for the family?
Yeah, we raised our own meat and everything. Raised all our own meat.
So you really, in a way, the war didn't affect your eating then?
Not
because you
really,
were
because
able
we had
to-
all what we needed to home anyway. We raised it. We had enough cattle and we had pigs and everything. So we raised all our own meat.
Were you in the service long enough to be able to use the GI Bill at all? Or?
Yeah, I was on the farm training when I come home, and actually, I think this was.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he was in for 2 years,
Yeah.
he would qualify.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I got, on the farm training, yeah. And agriculture, I took that and that paid, I think,
Well, I'm going to hold it here so Wayne can...
$80 a month, I think it was, which helped out.
That's interesting.
We visited different farms.
Okay, got it.
So was your father able to modernize
Yeah, quite a
much
lot.
during
He
the
did.
war? Or,
He kept up with things.
did he ever increase the herd at all?
Well, as I remember, he increased it a little bit, but I'm not, or 5 or 6 head.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. You did all your milking by hand then,
Yeah,
didn't you?
oh
You
yeah, didn't even have
any-
milking machines.
Yeah. Okay. So, you left the farm obviously after...
Oh yeah, as soon as I got old enough to.
Did things change much once the war ended?
Well, it was a while, it took a while, but I remember they did, I know. Driving with recap tires and like that. The first car I bought had a wooden bumper on it. But they changed gradually, I guess.
How do you think your time in service, do you think it ever had an effect on your life
Oh,
at all?
I think it helped me. It educated me a lot because I was pretty well tied down when I was still home, wasn't it?
Was that your first time away from home
Yeah,
when you went into
very
service?
first.
How
It
did you
was hard.
feel?
Well, I spent a few nights not sleeping. When I went to Fort Niagara, I remember. I remember laying awake quite a few nights.
How did you keep in contact with the family and letters and so on?
Oh yeah, I got letters, a lot of them from home. That helped. But
What was your initial reaction when you were discharged to go back on the farm?
well, I just couldn't believe it. And they were going out on another, I had full field pack on when they come in and told me to stay in, not to go out with them, and I thought something was wrong. I never will forget that day. So I waited and finally went over to see the commander, and they said I was going to be discharged. I had to stay there. I was pretty excited about it then. I wanted to be in before, but then I wanted to get out. So after I had all my shots, and we had the training on what it was going to be like overseas and what to do to save lives and all, it was pretty hard to take for a little farm boy. So I was excited about coming home.
Okay, did you join any organizations like the Legion or?
Well, no, I didn't
Okay.
get home, but
Okay.
You've never joined any of the veterans organizations then?
that about the only one I ever joined, I guess, was the Masons.
Uh-huh. Okay.
We got into music, played a lot of music.
Oh, really? Would
Yeah,
you-
for all of the clubs and all of the vets and all, but I didn't join them really.
Mhm.
Seemed like I always worked so many jobs that I didn't have really time to do the thing I wanted to do.
Okay, well,
All right, thank you
thank
very
you
much.
very much.